All right, now for more, let's welcome in National President of the Zionist Organization of America, Mort Klein. Morton, thank you for joining us. First, I just want to get your reaction to what we just heard from that report from Jody. We're heading into a new year and there is still 100 hostages being held by Hamas. What are your thoughts on this as we head into the new year?
We have to understand that one of the reasons this happened, October 7th happened, where 1,200 Jews were murdered, 5,000 injured, 250 taken hostage. Hamas and Hezbollah who've done these things have been armed and funded by Iran. And we in America, this administration, the Biden-Obama-Harris administration, has given Iran $36 billion in the last few years and ignored all sanctions, which enable them to earn another $100 billion. We have to understand, have we not funded Iran and ignored sanctions on Iran, October 7th and these hostages would not have happened. And we are funding Iran, which is a major enemy of American Israel, Christians and Jews. For 46 years, since the radical Muslims took over Iran, they've taken hostages in 1979, American hostages from the U.S. Embassy in Iran. They've killed 241 U.S. Marines in 1983. They've attacked the USS Khobar Towers in Saudi Arabia, where dozens more Americans have been killed. 2001, the World Trade Center, where 3,000 people were killed. Iran and al-Qaeda worked together to make this happen. So it is astonishing that we are funding and ignoring sanctions on Iran. We have to stop funding Iran. We have to stop funding the Palestinian Authority. We've given the Palestinian Authority, who embraced October 7th, this massacre, $800 million of our money, U.S. taxpayers' money, and funded the Hamas front group, UNRWA, with $600 million. And we have to understand it's not just Jews, and the leaders of Hamas and Hezbollah have publicly said, first we're going to kill all the Jews, next we're going to kill all the Christians. First the Saturday people, next the Sunday people. We're all in this together. And I'll say one more thing that's important. It's not just these radicals. The main Islamic seminary in the world is in Cairo. It's called Al-Azhar, the main seminary for Muslims. They have publicly praised the October 7th massacre. They have publicly stated on October 19th that every Jew should be killed in Israel, that it is a demand of the Quran. And their preachers all over the world, in Europe, in America, in the Middle East, call for the murder of every Jew and massacring Christians. They call for an Islamic caliphate to Islamicize the world. That is their goal. As the Department of Justice just wrote recently, the Hamas attacks have played a significant role in Iran's regional and global campaign to weaken and destroy the U.S. and Israel. We're in this together. We better understand this. I think too many people do not.
You're absolutely right, Morton. In fact, you know, Israel is fighting Iran through its proxies. Israel is ramping up its attacks against the Houthis, striking at Yemen rebels' controlled capital as well as multiple ports on the country's west coast. As Hamas and Hezbollah leadership are falling apart, the Houthis are the last remaining Iran-backed terror organization operating against Israel. Where does Iran go from here if the Houthis are taken out?
A miracle has occurred in the Middle East because of Israel, despite the pressure by Obama, Biden, Harris for Israel not to go into Gaza, not to go into Lebanon, not to respond to Iran. We now have Hamas and Hezbollah degraded dramatically. Iran, as you mentioned, is now extraordinarily weakened. They have no defense now. Israel has destroyed the S-300 and S-400 missile defense abilities. So Israel now, I believe, with Trump's help, can now go after their atomic weapons where they're threatening the entire world with them. So this is an extraordinary opportunity to get rid of one of the most dangerous supporters of Islamic terrorism in the world, Iran. So I am very hopeful in this new year we're going to see more miracles, and this will become a safer world, not a more dangerous world.
Morton, Israel has apparently as well struck the airport in Sana'a, whilst the UN delegation led by the Director General of the World Health Organization was about to board a flight there. Here is how the UN responded to that strike first.
The Secretary General condemns the escalation between Yemen and Israel. Israeli airstrikes today on Sana'a International Airport, the Red Sea ports, and power stations in Yemen are especially alarming. The airstrikes reportedly resulted in numerous casualties, including at least 3 people killed and dozens more injured. The Secretary General remains deeply concerned about the risk of further escalation in the region and reiterates his call for all parties concerned to cease all military actions and to exercise utmost restraint.
Now, Morton, I understand that the delegation being there at the airport does make things a little different for the UN, but she didn't mention any of the attacks that the Houthis have given to Israel in the past, year and a half?
This is pure United Nations Jew hatred. If the Houthis weren't launching hundreds, even thousands of missiles at Israel, Israel wouldn't respond. What country would allow missiles to come into their nation without doing all they can to stop those missiles from coming in, threatening the lives of their citizens? If we had missiles coming from Canada and Mexico, we would go after them immediately, as we should. So this is pure Jew hatred. And also, it's remarkable. Tens of thousands of Christians have been massacred in Syria, Iraq, all over Africa, Egypt. The UN has said not one word about tens of thousands of Christians who've been murdered by Muslims in these countries. They only make public statements of concern when Jews and when Israel's involved. This is pure Jew hatred. It is high time that the world condemns the United Nations for only attacking, being concerned about attacks when Jews are involved. It is high time we condemn attacks against Christians and others throughout the world, and we attack the imams who are publicly saying we must kill Jews and Christians throughout the world. I don't hear any condemnation of that. It's high time America and the world stand up forcefully and say we will not tolerate this type of incitement and these types of actions against Christians and Jews by Muslims.
Agreed.
Well, you know what they say, Morton? No Jews, no news. So this is an obvious example of that. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Up next, tonight marks the